Dealing with copyrights is a pain in the ass, but there's a reason we have them. Back in the day, writers were getting pissed. They'd slave away writing, get their work published, get some cash, then they watch while people start copying their work, printing it up and selling it, and making a lot of cash. So writers had good reason to get all pissy about this. So in 1790, they made a law saying no more stealing other people's work and making money on it. And that includes painters, sculptors, photographers, musicians, and computer programmers.
What and shit's a computer?
But they also included 3 caveats. First, fair use. There would be some people who could use works without permission. Press, schools, libraries, criticism, parodies, and commentaries do not need permission from copyright holders. Secondly, there are some things that you couldn't copyright. Vague ideas, instructions, recipes, single words, facts, and anything published by the government. Also, anything created by an animal. If you think that's a joke, Google gorilla selfie copyright lawsuit. Finally, the copyright would eventually expire and enter the public domain. At first, it was for a short period of time.
14 years sounds good.
But then people realized that they really like making money, and they'd like to do it for a little longer than 14 years. So in 1831,
I'll find 28 more years.
And in 1909,
All right, another 28.
and in 1976,
Life will be off the past 50 years.
and so on until eventually.
Life plus 150 years.
So now we know why and how copyright works. Let's talk about how it affects your film. First, music. There are 3 types of copyright for music, and you may need 1, 2, or all 3 of them, depending on how you use it. They are synchronization rights, master rights, and mechanical rights. Max Martin writes a lot of top songs. Synchronization rights pay the writer, and you can use a cover version of the song, but not someone else's recording of the song. No matter what, you have to pay the writer. If you want to use someone's recording of it, like Katy Perry's, you have to pay her. Those are called master use rights. Don't forget, you still have to pay Max. Now, if your movie is such a hit that you want to release a soundtrack, you also need mechanical rights. But you still have to pay Katy and Max. These 3 copyrights are only for music. For brand name products, you need something called clearances. Say your movie has something like Corona beers in it, you need permission from the fine folks at Corona to be able to show their brand in your movie. Why? Because Corona probably doesn't want their product seen in Girls Gone Wild 5. But you can also just hide the label or turn it into something similar. That's called Greeking. And yes, sometimes brands do pay to be in movies. It's called product placement. For instance, James Bond drinking a Heineken, which is wrong on so many levels. But you have to be very careful showing brands in your film. A good rule of thumb is that if you don't want to get in trouble, don't show the brand being used in a bad light. Perfect example, the TV show Heroes. In the show, there's a scene where some idiot puts her hand in a running garbage disposal with predictable results. And none of the producers seem to have noticed that the garbage disposal had the name Incinerator in big letters on it. So the company sued NBC. So how do shows like Mad Men get away with so many brands?
Live cereal. It's a little bit painful.
Has Mad Men ever been sued? They have, but not by a brand. By this woman. Why? Because they never got the rights to this model's face in the opening credits. So as you can see, copyrights and clearances are complicated. And if you'd like to know how many copyright and clearance infringements are in this video, the answer is 72.
It's a tragedy.